is time for another classic JP in the Beans top 5. This top 5, inspired by Ironheart, is the top 5 Iron Man armors of all time. Beans, without further ado, you go first.
I was very excited about this list because I geek out over Iron Man armors. I mean, look at that. I got the Hall of Armors right there. So,
should have done top 5 Iron Man pops.
Oh, yeah, there's too many. And also not worth it.
Can't win it now.
No. Not worth it. Okay. Number 5, I have the Model 42, the black and gold from the Marvel Now push. And no other reason than that's a good looking suit.
Sure.
Right? It's a nice little change of pace from the red and gold.
Yep.
He's got the black and gold, and you're like, why don't you rock black more often? This is slick.
Yep.
This is sleek.
Yep.
And it's a good looking armor. That's why it's at number 5. So that's pretty much it there.
Hey, the optics are great. Optics matter. We know Tony, he cares about optics. All right, therefore, my number 5 is the optically worse Ironmonger, the OG, the original by Tony that he had to put together with scraps.
Oh, you're talking Mark 1.
I'm talking Mark 1.
You threw me off with the Iron
Sorry. I know I'm crossing my streams here. I love that suit because it highlights, for me, the peak of Tony Stark's innovative problem-solving abilities. It is obviously on the lowest end of the totem pole in terms of actual firepower and capabilities. However, it shows and represents better than any other suit, in my opinion, that Tony Stark has made at what it is that allows him to be more than just a dude in a battle suit. The creativity that comes out of each suit started with his ability to literally scrap that bad boy together. So that's my number 5.
Are you talking MCU version then? Or are you talking about like original?
Yeah, good question. I'm certainly leaning more into the MCU here.
I would as well, because it does. For as clunky and weird as it looks, it works. I don't feel like you could go the classic comic route for that one and have it work well.
No. Part of my favorite scenes in any of the Iron Man movies, and I will hold this up for this armor, is when Tony has made his escape. He's blowing up the cache of weapons, and then he rockets out of the blast of all of the ordnance exploding around him. And for a split second, you think, oh, he's making a glorious getaway. Thank you. And then his jetpack or jet boots peter out. He just goes straight down into the sandy depths. So it was short-lived, but glorious nonetheless. That's my number 5. Okay, my number 4, and I'm going to lean pretty heavily into the movies and even shows here. So this pull is the Mjolnir armor from the animated series Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. This came out early 2010s. And in this particular episode, the Avengers have ended up in Asgard. Loki has been doing his usual mechanizations behind the scenes, twisting and manipulating things to the point where all of a sudden Odin again is freaking sleeping, because classic Odin, asleep on the job. Loki has harnessed the Odin force that he's now calling the Loki force. Everybody's in trouble, and Tony links up with the dwarves, and he's like, I need some freaking armor, guys. And they craft armor out of similar metal to what Mjolnir was crafted out of. And so then Tony Stark ends up with a entire head-to-toe suit of battle armor that can summon thunder and lightning. That was really fun. So that's my number 4. It's just fun. The power of Thor wrapped in Iron Man armor.
Oh, that's
a deep pull.
That was a trip. That was a trip.
There's a journey for
I respect it though. Number 4, we're going with classics here. The Hulkbuster armor. The Hulkbuster has to make this list at some point.
Yes, it does.
Jeez, the original Hulkbuster in the comics with the Juggernaut-esque dome.
Oh,
beautiful armor.
Look.
That is a beautiful armor. They did a great job transferring it over into the movies. When that thing pops in Age of Ultron, you're like, oh, here we go. Now, do I wish that fight was a little bit better and a little bit more fleshed out? Yes, I do. Okay.
What about it from that fight?
It just was like...
I'm curious.
I don't know. It just felt like, oh, mind manipulation again. Okay, because we had that with Hawkeye, and now we're having it with the Hulk.
Yep.
And I get having the Hulkbuster armor in place in case Hulk does go on a rampage. I don't know. I felt like they just pulled the trigger on that a little bit too early just to get the Hulkbuster armor in place. I feel like the Hulkbuster deserves to be like a finale suit.
Yep.
And this was pulled in the first act.
Sure.
That's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
It deserved.
I respect that take. I enjoy that sequence a whole heck of a lot.
It's a good fight.
But I respect your take.
It is a good fight. Yeah. It could have been executed a little bit better personally.
Okay.
So I like the Hulkbuster at number 4.
That's great.
Number 3. I like the War Machine armor. The War Machine armor is sick. When they dropped that in Iron Man 2, Rhodey finally suits up because it was a missed opportunity to not have him suit up in the first one. Hey, we had the tease.
Yeah, big tease.
We had the big old tease. Next time. And for Terrence Howard, it was not next time.
There was no next time.
But anyways, Don Cheadle steps in, and it was such a good looking suit, even though it did not perform very well at all because of Justin Hammer.
Freaking Hammer, man. What a dog.
And the storytelling afterwards.
With the Gatling gun.
He did.
That part was really legit.
Well, and that's what
Widowmaker didn't so much work, but the Gatling gun, that's cool.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
And that's what you want out of an armor is just more guns. Right? It just looks great.
Yeah.
So that's my number 3, the War Machine armor.
I love that. It certainly, because with as sleek as Tony consistently keeps his armors, it's just that great wish fulfillment of, hey, what would happen if we beefed up here a little bit, right? And you get that with the War Machine armor.
Well, and again, it's not just it's not like a Power Rangers kind of move where they're all look the same, but they're just different colors, and the mascot's just a little different per Ranger, right? This is Iron Man. This is the base. He's the base model,
right?
And then you go to War Machine. It's like, oh, that guy's like a tank, essentially. So it is nice to have that variation, for sure.
And Tony would never give Justin Hammer credit, but he indirectly does, in my opinion, give Justin Hammer credit by not removing the Gatling gun when he gets his hand on the War Machine armor, right? Like that's an endorsement right there of, this is a good idea. Good idea. Again, publicly, would you ever say that? No. But nonetheless, it's there. Okay, my number 3 is the Hulkbuster armor. Totally agree with you. The Juggernaut domed look is super fun. I really enjoyed in that particular fight sequence in Age of Ultron. The Hulk is ripping out components of the suit. There's fresh components firing in to replace a gauntlet that's been damaged. I loved the moment in that fight where the arm
stay down,
just like pins it, and it wraps up Hulk's arm and just pins him down. Like that's super fun. Again, wish fulfillment, right? Do you actually want to have Iron Man in that armor all the time? Always? No. I also like, in a weird way, how Bruce Banner has a real hard time with the armor when he gets into it in Endgame. I think that's, if not Hulkbuster adjacent, and he really struggles with it, but manages to use it to effect by rocketing the arm away and taking, what's that character's name? There's giants in there, but whatever. And he just explodes on the top of the Wakandan dome.
I know
that's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my number 3. My number 2 is the nanotech armor that we see in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. It's extremely impossible. Like it just shouldn't work, but it's mind-bending. It's wonderful. And the auto repair and weapon forming features are really sweet. Really freaking cool. The fact that Tony isn't limited to the repulsor blasts, which are a steady go-to, but he can form, actual hand-to-hand combat weapons with it. He can shift weight, and it's really, really wild and hard, to stay on top of. And I mean that in a good way. It's a lot of, like all these armors, this one is one of the most fun to watch. So that's my number 2.
My number 2 is the Mark 42 armor, aka the Iron Man 3 main armor.
Ooh.
It is a sleek.
Looks good.
It's a good looking suit. All right. I like the more gold incorporated into this one.
Yep.
Do I like necessarily that all the pieces fly together and separately? I don't know if I get behind that too much.
Sure.
We're going off of pure looks here.
Mhm.
It's just a slick looking suit, and I wish they would have leaned more into that moving forward as well. But it was nice to see that one have the main hole, the main rub.
Well, and it comes through in the clutch, right? I mean, he's able to manipulate the armor and have it protect Pepper when his house is getting just freaking blown up. So the manipulation that he has with that armor to be able to legitimately control and send it to where he and who he wants it to cover, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
great,
really cool. Great number 2. Number 1.
My number 1 is the Model Prime armor, Mark 51 or Model 51 in the comics. It is just a slick looking suit. Tony has essentially incorporated every suit of armor that he's ever had into this suit.
Yep.
I don't really care about that too much. I honestly just love the suit. It's a good looking suit.
Yep.
It does have a samurai mode for whatever reason. That was hilarious. It was awesome.
If you can, you should.
Literally just rocking a sword for whatever reason. It's legitly, there's no reason for it, but it's beautiful.
Right.
So and the stealth mode on that armor as well, fantastic. It's just a good looking armor that can get a lot of shit done. So that's
Sweet.
my number 1.
I love that number 1. Great number 1. Samurai mode. Come on. My number 1 is the Extremis armor. Now I'm pulling from the comics, okay? So the specific Extremis storyline. Again, I mentioned the Five Nightmares storyline earlier. That comes a little bit further down the line after Extremis. But Extremis, that storyline provided one of the coolest and most foundational upgrades for Iron Man in the last 20 to 25 years of comics, because it changed from, hey, the suit is this exterior abstract thing all the time, and it still can be, to where Tony's going, I need to upgrade my biology. And there's some real foreshadowing of what Zeke Stane is eventually going to do with this technology. But Tony tries to upgrade his body as much as he does his armor so that the armor can be a part of who he is, literally. And so there's this Extremis virus that he essentially puts into himself so that he can meld with the armor much more quickly and therefore react faster and execute different actions faster. It's a crazy concept, but it just really got very granular with how the armor functions and how Tony, as the human within the armor, responds and reacts to it. One of, I think, the coolest concepts in comics, and just something that every armor that followed really built off of, where it's like, hey, Tony and the armor are more symbiotic than they ever have been before. So that's my number 1.
Oh, it's just such a foundational suit too, because that really just defined, I'd say, the 2000s.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
That was the Civil War armor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
because you don't get nanotech before the Extremis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good looking suit.
Yeah. Really
100%.
freaking cool.